Okay, hopefully this time it works. See if anybody hops on. If it is working, what's up, what's good, what's happening? I hope you and your loved ones are doing amazing. Just kind of hanging out with you guys for a minute, answering questions. I'm new to going live on my phone, so I'm not 100% sure if it's working, and nobody's here, so I don't think it is working. Oh, it is working. We got somebody in. Okay, cool. A couple people in. Awesome. So again, hey. Hi, how you doing? Oh, Mama, what's good, honey? How are you? Movie Man's in here too. Hey, Mark. Yes, this is live. We are live streaming currently from my bathroom. Just because I wanted to go live with you guys and I noticed I look like a scarecrow. Somebody's been harvesting my energy, guys. And you can tell because my eyes, I look like I got punched in both eyes. Like somebody just sucker punched me in both of them. So I'm going to throw on some makeup so I don't scare anybody. I haven't been, Oh no, what are you doing now then for work, Mark? Hey, Rosalind. Oh. I'm not like really super hot or anything, guys. I have a sunburn. I got an aloe plant, so I put that on last night. I got it from putting that garden together. I'm going to post pictures of the garden on here too. Oh, so you just moved. Oh, hey, hey, you guys. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so glad to see you guys. I've been missing you guys. Your arm hurts from your weed whacker. Oh no. We got to get used to the flip-flops too. You know how at the beginning of the season, ladies, you break in them or even men that wear flip-flops, how you get the right in between your toes. If I can do it. You get that little blister. Yeah, I'm going to have to break those in. I have a silver and a brown pair of slippers that I'm going to be, or not slippers, but sandals I'm using, and they don't go in between my toes, specifically to avoid that. But yeah, so we're just going to hang out, and then you guys can ask whatever questions you want to ask. Literally anything. Stuff that's going on in the world. Any spiritual questions that you might have. Or religious questions that you might have. Anything at all. Let's just keep it, decent in here. We don't have to be turds to each other, right? I already see moderators in here too, so I'm not too worried about that. Orange peppers. I can't do meat anymore. I don't know what it is, but meat and my stomach, they don't mix. Hey, Tina. What's up, babe? We got some queens up in here today. Actually, I don't want eyeliner today. I don't want to do all that. I just want some basic clean up my eyes so I don't look like I'm not sleeping, because I'm not sleeping. But also, like I said, somebody's trying to harvest my energy. That's how you know you've got beauty spells being done on you. You start looking like you're aging. Actually, have you guys been watching Amber Heard and Johnny Depp? I don't. I see it every now and then as I'm scrolling TikTok. But have you noticed how when he was with her, he looked like he was slowly dying? I actually thought he was on drugs. And then throughout this court case, he's coming alive. Again, have you noticed that? And isn't it interesting how the opposite is happening with Amber Heard? I think she was harvesting his energy. That's just me personally. That's fine. I don't want a ton of makeup. I never wear a bunch of makeup. It's too hot to wear a bunch of makeup. Gonna have me sweating too much. But yeah, let me see these comments. Let's see what you guys are up to. Uh-oh, I'll have to look into that, Mark. Sitting here in the heat. Oh, Tina, it was so hot. It was like in the 90s. So in my house, it was like in the hundreds. And on Saturday, I was like, I can't do it. 4 days of not being able to think straight because it's so hot. We stayed at a fucking hotel. And I'm still debating on whether or not I'm going to give that receipt to my landlord because he will not let me put an AC in. I have it, it's sitting right here, but he won't let me put it in. Not until they come in to switch out the windows and everything, and they're going to wait until after the heat to do that. Literally told me that I have to live in unlivable conditions. So that was fun. Let's see. Oh, sorry guys, somebody's messaging me. So one reader to another, am I going to be successful with my Virgo man? Quite possibly. Beauty spells. Okay, with a question mark. So have you ever been envious of somebody that's prettier than you and you wish you could have that beauty? There are people that will take it so far to actually do magic to try to like steal your aura, steal your energy, steal your fame, steal your finances, steal your partner, steal your beauty. They can try to use magic to steal all kinds of shit, all kinds of stuff. And because I have some pretty serious insecurities about my meat suit, my vessel, my body, sometimes it affects me a little bit, but it's usually nothing more than just a little bit of darkness that a little bit of cover up fixes anyways. So it's not that big a deal, like for me specifically. I did gain a little bit of weight from it too, but that's okay. It's a full moon, so I'm doing the fast, right? It'll come right off. Like, I don't know. I don't give them that kind of energy. You know, I'm aware of it. I know the signs when it's happening. My diet's actually really freaking great right now, so I know it's not that. But yeah, beauty spells that's definitely a thing. That's how I feel sometimes, like my energy was being harvested. Right? Right. You can feel it too, because I've been really tired. It's like 5 o'clock. Yeah, 5:02 p.m. I'm drinking coffee, y'all. In this big old mug. Because I'm tired. All the time tired. It's been raining a lot too, though. That puts a lot of pressure in the atmosphere. Hurt as a sucky bit. Yeah. Yep. Definitely feel that. Sorry. How about... Oh, pizza. I actually am not doing a lot of bread in general. That's not... I don't know. My stomach is really picky right now. I don't know what's going on. But any kind of bread is not... My body doesn't, react well to it. I was looking at the moon. I felt chills, unsettling vibes, and some invisible thing touched me. And I kept seeing a light flashing in the sky at the corner of my eye. Wow. Wow. Was that just last night when we had the full blood pink moon in Scorpio? Eclipse. We had the eclipse. It was a mouthful. Okay? It was a very intense moon. There was some weird vibes about that moon, guys. I said it in the reading that I just did. I'll say it again here, though, just in case you didn't catch it. If you had your crystals yourself or any water underneath the moonlight absorbing that full moon energy, go ahead and rinse all that energy collected right off of it and dump the moon water. It's really chaotic. Any kind of eclipse with the full moon is really chaotic energy. That's like the one time you don't want to collect the moon water and all that business. Let's see. I saw... There she is. Just heard thunder here. It scares me. Oh, don't be scared. Then again, I actually had a really super big fear of lightning until I was told it was just angels playing bowling up in the sky. But it's interesting how some people think angels and demons are just aliens. And then I was like, what if it's actual, like, alien war? Because, NASA can create storms. So I was like, what if they're just covering up that there's, like, an alien war going on? And that's what we're really hearing. Like, ugh. I understand how storms can scare people because that got me to be scared of them. She tells me to send back light and wish them all well. Yeah. Yeah, especially if somebody's trying to harvest your stuff because they're jealous. It just shows the lack of love that they have for themselves. You know, my main struggle is learning to be okay with my insecurities. I'm not going to try to spend my time being jealous of somebody else who's beautiful. I'd rather just let them know that they're gorgeous. Fuck, why not just compliment somebody? There's enough hate in the world. What's the point in all that, you know? And then magic comes with a price. So, like, I'm not into that kind of shit, you know? I'm not into that. You look amazing. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you, ma'am. Do we need to know where it comes from? Wait, what? I'm not sure what that's in reference to, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. Do we need to know where it comes from? If you're talking about like the magic, I think you're talking about the magic. No, you don't need to know who specifically is doing it. Sometimes, like, especially for somebody like me, I'm on YouTube. I'm never gonna meet the majority of you face to face. Um, so I don't have to know who it is in order to basically combat it, I suppose. So no, you don't have to know who it is. Thank you for the donation. Let's see, what do we got? I've felt that too, the alien war. And the same with these eclipse moons. Just bringing a cover up. It's a ship just past me. I know, right? What's really wild is people will record storms and stuff. I find them so peaceful. And you can actually see, every now and then you'll see like something poke out behind the cloud. And it's definitely not something that hovers the way a plane flies. You see what I'm saying? That's some weird shit. If you've ever seen that, that's spooky. Oh, your daughter hides in the basement. Poor thing. I had a golden retriever, one of the most loving dogs on the planet ever, period. And the poor thing got so scared during storms. She would hide underneath the bed, behind the couch, under the table. And then she'd sit there and whine until you got under there with her because she was like, "You're not safe. Come here where it's safe." And I always felt so bad for her. She never really did get over it. But yeah, they say that animals can sense things, so perhaps, maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll have to send you pictures of my property in the house sometime. Do you have an email? Yeah, truthbetollintuitions@gmail.com. Welcome in Northern Ireland. It's so good to have you guys. How are things over there? How are things over in Ireland? I know, like, the world is absolutely crazy right now. What's going on over there? I'm in America. I'm in the States. I really want to say I'm in the petri dish because it really just feels like a big fat experiment to me at this point. For some reason, I always felt that way about America. It's just an experiment. And I don't remember why. I was little. I was a very young child thinking that for some reason. And it never did make sense until, recently it starts coming back. Mega shift hitting Scorpio. Yes, it is. Everything's good over there. Oh, good. That's good to hear. At least somebody's doing all right on the on this rock. Maybe rock. Who knows how much they lied, right? She got a picture of a dimension that opened up. From World War II. There's 3 planes going the same direction and almost on top of each other. Whoa, okay. Oh, thank you, Mama D. There's the email, you guys. I am doing personals again, but I'm not on the website. Just get a hold of me on email. When I looked up, there's no plane at all in the sky. Just my camera caught it. That makes sense because I've seen people slow down their videos and you'll see weird things zipping by. And it's funny because it looks like just little dots in the sky, like dust particles, until you pause the video and you're like, wait, what? That's not dust. I feel like I missed a chunk of these. Yeah, you talked about 2, 4, and 5. It's been crazy here too. Yeah, those are the, yeah, and 3s. And 11s. I've been seeing so many 11. That's probably the newest one, is all the 11s. But that speaks about portals and doors, and they just turned fucking CERN back on. Did you know about that? It was down for 3 years. They were doing major updates and major upgrades, and they just turned it back on about a week ago. I think it was about a week ago. For some reason, at times, I be seeing blue flashing light by the corner of my eyes. I see that all the time. I remember as a child, I used to ask, do you see like little squares, like little dots? Almost like, this is going to sound weird, but follow me. Almost like the pixelation is loading. It's got a buffer. I used to ask my, was it an optometrist, the eye doctor, if there was something wrong with my eyes. And they're like, oh, I've never heard of that before. Come to find out, it's just piercing through the veil. Oh, I love you too, come on. Oh, Heather could have a point. That can absolutely be your heart chakra opening up. Or your throat chakra. That could even be your third eye chakra opening up. Any of those can look like a shade of blue in the corner of your eye. That would be your aura. You're actually seeing the energy that you're putting out, your own aura. I get where you're going with that, Heather. Yeah. You meant throat chakra? It could still be heart, though, because green, when it's... think of red. If it's... How do I explain this? If it's watered down enough, because it's got that clearness to it, it actually looks pink. Green, when you do that, it'll look a little bit blue. So it could be both. You're not wrong, babe. I don't think you're wrong. What are your thoughts on astral travel during the sleeping hours? I have only ever astral traveled when I was asleep. My gosh, my phone is blowing up. You can learn to control it. It is real. It is definitely real. I personally had an experience where I was just kind of flying in the clouds and I saw this bridge and I felt like that's where I needed to go. And there was a car accident that took place. I saw a little boy in the back seat in a car seat and I just kind of held him and I just started screaming, help, help, somebody help. And then when I woke up, I explained the dream to my boyfriend and he was like, you're crazy. Like, how do you have these weird ass dreams? And I'm like, I don't know, but that was my dream. And it really, like, it kind of messed with me. You know how sometimes you wake up and your dream just kind of sticks with you. Well, shortly after that, my sister called me and she was like, I feel like I need to read this article to you. I don't know why, but here we go. And sure enough, it was that article about a car accident on a bridge. It happened to be in New York. And the only one that survived was a little boy in a car seat in the middle of a back seat. And that's what really stood out to me because car seats are supposed to be either behind the driver or behind the passenger, not in that middle seat. And that's where that baby was. That's why I was like so scared for this baby. But yeah, the baby was the only one that survived. And they were trying to find who placed the 911 call so they could thank that person. And when my sister played it, it was my fucking voice. I have goosebumps. It was my voice. So I know for a fact that astral travel is real. And you can learn how to control it. You can try to do it through meditation, but I've only ever done it once. And it was so weird that, like, it's harder to do during meditation because you still have a little control over your mind in the sense that if you're guides are trying to show you something, but you want something else to happen, you can stop them from giving you that information and take the experience in a different direction where originally that's not even what you're supposed to be doing, right? So I prefer doing astral travel when I'm asleep at night. And I do it all the time. There's a few ways you can know for a fact you did. One of the absolute most well-known is you wake up covered in sweat. because astral travel takes a lot of energy. Another one is waking up and feeling very dehydrated, like you really need to get water. Even if you're an avid coffee person like myself, you have to drink a cup of water before you even look at that coffee cup, right? And then another one, and then we'll move on, is feeling like you got no sleep. You wake up after 12 hours, 8 hours, how many hours of sleep, and you feel like you didn't get any sleep at all. Those are definitely signs that you were astral traveling. And if you do something big enough, you might actually see it in the news, apparently. Come to find out. So let's see. You saw that. Well, these blue flashing light snakes. Their audience trying to come through. I hear buzzing sound in my ear, freaks me. I hear buzzing sounds in my ears all the time. Chris, all that is your energy adjusting. Those are frequencies. Sometimes it's you because you're making changes, so your physical frequency is changing and you can actually hear that. Other times it's energies that you're hearing around you. There are people that swear up and down they can fucking hear the 5G towers. I, on a couple occasions, thought I heard it too. But then I'll hear, what was the other one that I heard? Oh yeah, duh, the frequency of the earth. The Schumann resonance. You can hear that if you channel it strong enough. It could also be your ancestors talking to you. It could be your guides talking to you. It could be somebody in a friend or a family member thinking about you and like having a conversation to themselves with you, right? And your ear starts ringing because somebody's referring to you or trying to reach out to you, or you know what, I should call so and so, and then you think of them, next thing you know, they're calling you. You're intuitively adjusting. Let's see. I see purple after third eye meditation. That means you're doing it right. That means you're absolutely doing it right. Don't be afraid. Try to listen. Ask for clarity on it. Yeah, absolutely. Similar to my experience, I was blocking off harm, bomb explosions to an older woman, almost elderly, and I helped her to stay safe. Oh, helped her to safety. Oh, are you going over to Ukraine too? There's a whole bunch of us that are going over to Ukraine. Not everybody over there is a monster, but like, y'all would be surprised. Some of you, most of you get it though. Do you feel like bruises on your head? Oh, I don't feel bruises on my head from anything like that. I do actually have some bruises that popped up on my legs recently, and I woke up with them. I'm not really 100% sure how I got them. I don't move. I don't like kick or anything in my sleep. I'll roll, but I have a pretty big bed, and I don't like kick the wall or nothing like that. So, and it's not even actually on a spot on my leg where I would have been able to kick the wall, because either my knee or my foot would have like got the wall first, and they're fine. So I truly don't know how I got it. But yeah, I wake up with bruises, but not on my head, no. Let's see. Have you felt the flip-flop of energy? Oh my gosh, it's been nuts. Yeah, that's some whiplash stuff. Dream Eyes, by the way, did they ever stop? Oh yeah, he's gone now. He's gone. And the other one that was harassing me on all forms of social media, he's also been stopped. And then the other guy who was also the one in the white van stalking the house. So because I had the two stalkers at my house, he's also gone. So all three of the psycho stalkers are done. They're gone. They've been taken care of. Thank God, because that was not fun. But yeah, the energy flip-flopping, it's been really intense, but that's because there's a lot going on in the world right now. If you guys study HEK 293, I don't think they're going to overturn Roe versus Wade, but it really depends, because there's two different big battles that are really going on in regards to the amount of humans we have here. Okay, so there are some people like Bill Gates that believe we should keep the, what is it, the capita for mankind to somewhere between 1.3 million and I think it was like 1.8 billion people, or million people, billion? A hell of a lot less than we have now. But then there's other people that believe that we need more in order to add to our, more people paying taxes, more people paying for rent and all that, more people joining the service and putting their lives on the line so the rich can stay rich at the expense of somebody else. It just, I don't know. I don't know if that's actually going to be overturned or not. I don't think anybody really knows. But if you look up HEK 293, I think this is just another way to get us to become more divided, because it's about, people, however you felt with the masks, however you felt with the jab, and now how you're feeling about abortion. And it's just like, is there any other topic you want to throw out there? Oh, racism? Okay, yeah, let's throw that in there, because that definitely stirs the people the fuck up. But if you notice, what are all of these situations that are being brought up? They're negative ass situations that start shit situations. It's I'm so frustrated with the whole fucking thing. I can't even form a sentence right now. Last couple of weeks is exhausting. Why is my phone blowing up right now? Vivid, crazy dreams of horror, abusive, toxic ex. Oh, honey. Chaotic and actually scary. Do I need to cleanse or extra protection? Extra protection for sure. Cleansing never hurts. I've had a lot of my exes come into my dreams over the last couple weeks, and some of them just want to put me in really humiliating situations. Others of them are just trying to siphon some of that energy with that magic stick. But definitely protect yourself. And again, as soon as you can recognize it's a dream, you have the ability to take control of it and take it where you want to take it. And if you're not comfortable with something, or if you want somebody to leave, as soon as you recognize that you have the ability to control it, that's all you need. That's all you need. I have woke up in hell rooms. I've been locked in hell before while I was sleeping, and I just calmly look at them and I'm like, I know this isn't real, and you know you can't keep me here, so this is done. And as soon as I say that, I'll wake up, usually covered in sweat because it's freaking hot, but all you have to do is know that you have the power in that situation. They can't confine a human who knows they are the key to let themselves out of whatever that place is. If that makes sense. I feel like I didn't say that right. Anyways, if you don't fear them, they don't have any power over you. That's literally the only thing that they can do, is try to get you to fear, and then they can manipulate you when you are in that fearful energy. And I'm not scared of them, because I know, picking on people? Really? How old are we? It's like they're fucking children that don't get enough attention. And so they just go out and bully others. You guys know how I feel about that. So I just don't give them what they want. I don't fear them. I'm not fucking scared of them. But I've seen them so many times that it's funny. Have you ever watched, there's a series of movies they did about this husband and wife, but Ed and Lorraine Warren, I think it's the Conjuring movies or whatever. I would not actually watch those movies, come to find out. A lot of weird shit went on the set, because the things they were talking about were real. And some of the objects that they had on there were the real fucking deal. They weren't all props. So there was just a lot of negative shit that happened, kind of like a lot of the horror movies that specifically talk about certain D words that rhymed with Siemens. And, but the experiences that they had, I'll never forget. In one interview, Ed said, I love that Lorraine is doing what she's doing. She's really changing lives. But every time that she involves herself with one of these situations, it's almost like these situations leave a mark on her soul. And some marks don't heal. I've had to, like, and if you've ever, like, if you have that calling, you know. But I have had to deal with some things that I saw. I caught a picture of something one time, and still to this day, I don't think anything scares me as much as that did. That scared the everything right out of me. And then I had to clean this house. There was a lot of really demonic activity, and I was leery about it, but I'm like, well, you know, somebody's living here. They can't move, so I've got to at least try, right? And while I was clearing that house, I saw this little girl. She's probably like 7, 8 years old. And she's in a white dress, old, like colonial style. And when she opened her mouth, like her eyes were crying. And she looked like she wanted to tell me something. Like she wanted to ask me for help. But when she had opened her mouth, it was like just a whole mess of just sharp teeth. And at first you would think that's a D word, but I could look at her and see this is a little girl. And when I thought about it, I'm like, how she's dressed, she's been stuck here for hundreds of fucking years. I would probably morph from all the anger and rage too, right? So like you have to know what's actually scary and what is just being misinterpreted. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Thank you for that donation. All right, let's start down here. Hey, Courtney. Hey, Ebony. What's good, you guys? The dreams are like, why are you even in my dreams? Yeah, it gets weird, but... Audra, hey. It has been a minute, yeah. Oh, your daughter just watched them? I always felt so connected to them for some reason. I didn't get it until I started really channeling my abilities. I remember when I was younger, I had this bedroom window that was up pretty high on the wall, so as a short little child, I couldn't see out of the thing. But late at night, I would be just laying in bed and looking at the window because you could kind of see the street light coming in, and I would see these little, like, balls of light go in and out of the bedroom window. And I didn't realize that my window was a fucking portal and there are souls just passing through this thing. I had no idea. No idea what I was looking at when I was a child. It's wild. Because you see something like that, and then in the morning, because you can't explain it and it's so confusing, you're like, you know what, maybe I just dreamt that up. Maybe that was a dream and I thought I was still awake, but I was actually sleeping. Or maybe I was so tired that my mind was playing tricks on me until it happens the next night, and then the next night, and then the next night, and then months and months. And it just, for years, I watched souls come in and out of this fucking portal until one night there was this tall, dark silhouette of a something, because that was way too damn tall to be a human and too skinny as well to be a human. And it just kind of like lifted its long, what felt like a claw, and just pointed right at me. And I don't think I've ever screamed Amazing Grace as loud as I did that night. But I was a little girl performing an exorcism, and I had no idea what I was doing, and nobody else in the house woke up. And it was a small house. Everybody should have woke up as loud as I was screaming. Facts. The dogs didn't even come running in there. We had like 4 dogs in the house. Nothing. That's actually how I got into tarot in the first place. Really good friend of mine was doing it, and I'm like, well, you know what? I trust you. Can you tell me what that thing was, or if I just dreamt it up? I need to know for clarity of my own life, the direction of where my life was and where I'm going. What was that? And she told me things about that story that I didn't ever tell anybody else, and that's when I became a real true believer. And she was like, Jess, you're supposed to be doing this. You need to get some cards. And then what are we, 3-4 years later? Here I am. Here we are. Kind of cool how that experience brought me all the way here. I think that was probably one of the last times I was actually scared of those things. I actually asked God to take the gift away. I said, this isn't a gift. This is not a gift. I don't want it. It scares the shit out of me. Take it away. And then when I went through my awakening, I had to learn how to do it, bring it back, and work with it all over again. But this time I knew how to protect myself. That made it different. So I'm like coming back to seeing, that's the fourth dimension. When you can see spirits, they're in the fourth dimension. That's how you know you're accessing the fourth dimension. If you see something out of the corner of your eye, you are now 4D. There you go. Let's see. Astral Travel 2 days ago at Costco. Oh, have you been hearing the stuff people are talking about with Target? How it's a whole different dimension? Interesting, right? Because you go in there for one thing and you end up with a bunch of things you didn't need. And a whole bunch of time goes by. It's literally like being abducted. And just time is missing. Anyways, 20 minutes later, my son, Kevon, filled the cart. Embarrassing or not. Wait, what? I don't think I understand that. I had an intense dream. Dark entity was chasing me and I couldn't move. My cat was there defending me. And his eyes were glowing. I woke up sweating, screaming. Psalm 23, the Lord is my shepherd. Ah. Cats are wild. I mean, they can see some things. Last night, I laid the baby down, and then I picked up his room, and I came out here just to kind of have a few minutes to myself before I went and called it a night. And I'm watching Omega. For those of you that don't know, I have 3 cats. Omega's one of my cats. Anyway, she's sitting on the floor right in front of me, staring, like looking into Joey's room. And her eyes got so big. And she's tilting her head sideways. And she's like putting her paw out and slowly stretching to get closer to whatever this is without spooking it, right? And I was like, well, whatever that is, it's a good spirit, obviously, because I've only ever seen her be like that with my snake plants. For some reason, my snake plants and my spider plants, it's kind of why I believe in the fae, like fairies and whatnot, because the way that Omega and Bagheera, the kitten, I think that they're actually real. And then I watched the Omega and Alpha play with that dragon that I saw the other morning. I thought I was seeing things because I just woke up. I was waiting for my coffee to finish. I literally just woke up. And as I'm looking over because the cat was eating the food, I wanted to see which cat it was, right? I thought I saw a dragon. And next thing I know, the cats are both playing with it. And I'm like, maybe I did. But again, that's that fourth dimension. How about the phantom cats, though? Guys, have you ever noticed, like, you'll be laying in bed and all of a sudden a cat hops up there, but there's no cat that hopped up there? Phantom cats. I had 2 black cats, one female named Allie and Leo. Aw. Magic was done on her. She died at 13. I'm so sorry to hear that. What the fuck? I had a neighbor that was dipping hot dogs in antifreeze, and one of my dogs actually died from that. And I ended up, that was the last time I had the cops called on me, I think, because I came unglued. I came unglued. I think that was the day he learned not to fuck with my generation, because I cannot respect an elder that acts like that. I don't know who you think you are. You may have been on this neighborhood longer than me, but you just killed my dog. You fucked up. You fucked up. I had the cops called on me. I didn't destroy none of his property, but I was banging on that motherfucking door telling him to get his ass outside. And he wouldn't. When the cops showed up, I said, yes, I did, because he killed my dog. Thanks for calling the cops for me. And he ended up going to jail over it. Jackass. believe in the Fae, at least elemental nature entities. I do too. But I think part of why I'm scared to is because a lot of the Fae, you like 90%, at least 90% of them, you don't want anything to do with it. They're malevolent. They're not very friendly with humans. They're not. And you're not supposed to be able to see them. So like, I can't see them, I'm okay with it. My cats are having fun playing with them, I'm okay with that. But if one of them, like, makes a sound like they just got hurt or something, I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't even, I would probably just have to move. Honestly, I wouldn't even know how to combat something like that. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. I just try to keep my distance with it. I'll respect it as long as they're respectful. You know, I've got no problem with that. But if you do research on Fae, I got spooked. Oh, thank you for that donation, babe. I have Allie's ashes with me. The veterinarian said she had kidney failure. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know pets are like a whole nother baby in the house. Do you have any experience with saying or know a reason it wouldn't work? Did the whole house from the basement up? What? Do you have any experience with saying? Saw a phantom cat in broad daylight. That's wild. That's wild. Heather, honey, can you go just a little further explaining what you're asking here? Do you have any experience with saying or know a reason it wouldn't work? Did the whole house from basement up counterclockwise, seeing positive, telling negatively? Oh, is that supposed to be saging? Is that supposed to be saging? Yeah, I've saged a lot. Actually, I saged early. My sage is sitting right here. You don't have to light this whole monstrosity. Like, there's an industry for fucking everything to make money off people, and it pisses me off to no fucking extent. Guys, listen, when you sage, first of all, if you use white sage, that is a closed practice. You have to get the approval to do that. But if you do get the approval to do that, you only need to burn like a little piece of it. That's it. You don't have to go burn an entire sage stick. Just a little piece. The smoke does not have to fill the space. It's a very potent smell. It's the smell that sets the room. So say you're meeting somebody and they've got some serious BO. You know for a fact they went to the gym and did not take a shower before they met you for dinner. You're probably not going to have as good of an experience with them as you would if they would have showered, right? But then there's people that always smell good. Notice how they have a lot of friends, a lot of people that want to hang out with them because they always smell good. They set a different mood, an ambiance, and it will have nothing to do with a person's character, but it is something that affects the relationships they have with others. It's kind of one of those things that go on without anybody actually saying them out loud. Like that undertone deal or event or whatever. But yeah, when burning sage, any kind of sage, you only need a little bit. What really works, because you want to fill the space, one of these little guys. Some of them will come out like on pillows. This one didn't come on a pillow. I actually got this off Wish. One of the only things that Wish actually gave me that was what the description said. A lot of times you'll get something and that's not the fabric I ordered. It said cotton and it comes up spandex or something. But these Tibetan sound bowls, any of the crystal bowls, they actually have a frequency. That right there can clear the air. The reason I went to Wish is because it was so cheap. But you don't need to spend no money, clap. That'll break up the stagnant energy right there. Because of the reverberation hear it bouncing like through the furnace and back at me. And off that wall, that little rounded, yeah. It's so cool. Thank you for that donation, sweetie. Clapping. You ain't got to spend no money to cleanse your fucking energy. Clap your hands. Laugh. Laugh. Jess, without doing a tarot, I trust your heart. Will you be willing to take a brief moment and see if Sarah is ready to talk? I am doing readings again, but like I mentioned earlier, just go ahead and email me. It's truthbetoldintuitions@gmail.com. And we can set something up for you. LOL, the wish struggle is real. That's a nice fact. Yeah, I was pretty impressed with it. You know, I half expected this part to be missing or this to be plastic or something like that, but no, it's actually kind of heavy. And this is just a little guy. I actually have really small hands. But this is it's the real deal. I was pretty pumped about that. Although I would not recommend Wish. I actually suggest going to a holistic shop near you. You always want to support your local, I guess I could say light workers. Let's see. When you just did that with the cup, it made me smile. Yeah. That's so cool. Clockwise to get rid of the negative energies. I mean, you can go clockwise, you can go counterclockwise, you can start at the front door, you can start at the back door, you can start at the top of the house, you can start at the bottom. I mean, it's really just what you feel guided to do, you know what I mean? I think that people so often try to, you have to do it this exact precise way, and that's not how it works. You just have to hold the intention in your heart, you know? I have been able to combat spells that came on to me, and not even by saying anything, just becoming aware of it. And like the first thing that goes through my head isn't, well, look at what you're doing to me, or, well, you're not just hurting me, you're hurting my children, or it's not even that. The first thing I go to is your life really so miserable that you're going to focus on me and mine? How is that going to solve any of your situations? How is that going to solve your problem? How is that going to make you feel any fucking better? You're still going to have the same problem after you're done wasting all your energy trying to hurt me. For whatever reason it is, right? Like, what's the point in that? Don't give me your power. I don't want your power. Look at your energy. I know the kind of energy your power is going to come with. I don't want that. I don't want that. Mm-mm. All right, Mark, that's enough. You're not going to come on my channel and hound me about doing a reading for you, stopping everything to pay attention to you, and then when I say no, continue to ask me to, and then ask my other YouTube creator, tarot reader friend to do it. That's too much. Calm down. How long have you been into tarot, and where did you start? Oh, good question. I didn't start tarot until it was like 3-4 years ago. I had my first reading when I was pregnant with Joey. He's about to be 4 in about 2 weeks. And that first reading I got, I was sold. I was like, I feel like this is something that I should get into. And I had a weird dream where I had 3 oracles come to me, and they each gave me a test. And I passed with flying colors, and they were really surprised. I was too. And when I woke up, I just had this overwhelming urge that I needed to purchase a very specific deck. And that was the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. And I did. I ordered it, and it said it would be here in like 2 days or whatever. Amazon, right? It was going to be here in 2 days. It showed up the very next day. A lot sooner than, like, less than 24 hours. And that was before Amazon was doing the overnight with the Prime. And then right after I placed the order, I finally was able to calm down. It was so wild. But yeah, when the deck came in and I opened it up, I had to work that night. And I didn't want to go to work. I wanted to stay at home and play with these cards because like they felt so good, the energy they had, and like I would ask just a random question and get a card, and like I had a feeling I knew what the card meant, but I was new, I never did it before. So I go to the book. It was exactly what I felt when I first saw the card. So I guess you could say I was like a natural. I'm pretty sure I did it in a past life, and me accessing it in this lifetime, it just kind of, I went right back into it as I used to. But all of that was only like 3 years ago. So yeah, I've only been doing tarot for about 3 years. But I've been researching all kinds of other stuff for as long as I can remember. I love Amazon. I get my cards and everything there. Same. I just make sure that I really, really, really cleanse the cards because there's a lot of hands that touch it. And of course, they can absorb energy. And for those of you guys that do read cards, if you go over to other people's houses, or even if you do them like in restaurants and stuff, make sure you get like even a handkerchief so that it's not on the physical property because it can also absorb energies that are at those physical properties. Wow, this is really unfortunate, but Mark, one more and you're out. That's like what, the third fucking time? I don't even talk to my kids that like even they catch on faster. Stop. This is getting to be harassment. And Mama D again? No, we're done. We're done. That was fun. Some people just don't know how to fucking respect boundaries. Let's see. Where did I go? Wasted their energy. Bad karma will come to them tenfold. It might. I mean, honestly, I don't want bad karma to come on to them. They already have so much negative karma that's why they're trying to attack other people. You know what I mean? So, like, just sending more negative karma on them or wishing more negative karma on them, A, that can bring bad karma on you, and B, it's just going to make them even more pissed off. You know, they're going to spend more time, more energy, more finances on those fucking spirit cooking whatevers that they do. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Learning tarot, and I was afraid it would probably take forever. It might not. It might not. I was so drawn to it, like, but only after I had my first reading. Before that, I was like, taboo, you know? I was like, I don't know, man. I don't want to open a door to something that I can't close. I can't send back and close, so. But that's pretty much just Ouija boards at this point. There's other things too, obviously. I won't do like seances. I won't do, you know what I mean? Like, fuck all that business. I just play with my crystals and my plants, yo. And try to help people to overcome the everyday frustrations because, like, it is so hard to try and heal. When you are healing, you have to swallow things that people do or say that you never fucking deserve to be done to you or said to you. And that is so hard. It is so hard. And that's what I'm trying to help people with. And tarot just happened to be the thing that people wanted. That's what y'all liked. So that's what we do. When I first touched the pendulum, it was instant. I feel weird about pendulums. I don't know why. I could have just had a bad experience in a past life or something. I don't know. Or maybe someone uses one against me. I never thought of that until just now. That's interesting. But pendulums always made me feel a little weird. I had this beautiful amethyst pendulum on a necklace. And I went to use it once, but I was getting mixed messages. And I did specifically ask to talk to my guides and nobody else, right? I did the whole protection thing before. And it was weird. So me personally, I don't do that. But hey, if that's what you're drawn to and you've got nothing but good experiences, then see, that's how you know if something is your niche or not. I tried the pendulum. It just wasn't for me. Nothing bad happened. I've done things where bad things did happen, and now I know never to do that again. Not the Ouija, not that. I've never played with that. Actually, if that comes like on a movie or something, I will fast forward that scene. I don't give a fuck what happens. I don't need to know it. I don't need to know it that bad. I mean, they're going to fast forward or we're going to shut it down. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Used to play with tarot cards when I was little. Me and my cousins used to play it thinking it was just a card game. Oh, that's funny. Actually, oracles back in the day would use regular playing cards to try and do tarot readings. The only thing I don't like about that is there's no major arcana. You would only have the minor arcanas. And you wouldn't have any of the people either. Oh, well, yeah, you could actually. But there's no major arcana, and that's the divine. So that's like taking the higher power out of it. Just a weird way of looking at it, but I think deep like that. Aquarius rising. Can you tell? Oh, that's how I was when I first touched a pendulum. It was, oh, I read that. What's your favorite crystal currently? My moldavite. I have been working with my moldavite a lot, and I do have to take breaks with it because it is that intense of a crystal, but I am really getting good at working with the energy of a moldavite, and that has to be my favorite. Next to amethyst. I love amethyst. I've got some pretty big, actually you can see the heart amethyst right here. That is a 40-pound piece of amethyst, and I forget the stone, the cluster that comes out in the middle, but that's a 40-pound piece of amethyst there. It's a heart shape. And then I have another piece, you guys have seen it, the big-ass tower there, and I forget, I think that one's just about the same, 40 pounds. And they're intense crystals, but moldavite, that's got to be my favorite one currently. Set those boundaries. Yeah, for sure. And I'm not a bad guy for setting boundaries at all. I'm not a bad guy for upholding boundaries either, you know? But I think as somebody that shines that light, sometimes people are not necessarily karmic when they do that. They're not used to that kind of energy. So they act in ways that maybe they normally wouldn't act. You know, they seek the attention a little bit more than they normally would, or they get a little bit nervous and say or do things tripping over their words and, you know, acting out of character and whatnot. And when you are around energies that you're not used to, that can happen. I'm actually really used to that. I've had several people in my lifetime, or even on the channel since I started the channel, I've had a few people have this weird obsession with me. Like I had those 3 stalkers over the fall season and kind of going into the winter season there. So yeah, I'm kind of used to that at this point. But like, I gave them some warnings. I gave them, you know, I guess some people don't know when too much is too much. All I can do is try. And if it's not respected, then all I can do is stand up for myself, you know? What is up? Ways up. Let's see. I was a natural too. I honestly caught on real quick. That's so awesome. You probably did it in past life too then. My crystals too. I hand them out all the time. I ran out of rose quartz because I had a whole bunch of rose quartz and I was passing them out to everybody I knew. Because what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing. There's just too little love. I love that song. But it's true. It's so true. So I would just hand them out, hand them out, hand them out. One day my girl comes by and I was like, do you have it on you? She's like, no, I left it at the house. I'm like, it's okay, girl. I got another one. I did not. I ran out. Because I hand my crystals out all the time. When you recognize that the crystals that are here on Earth, you can tap into that energy at any point in time. Any point in time. They don't have to be in your physical vicinity for you to access the energy that is this Earth, that is this planet, right? Think of like Atlantis, how it sunk, but it's still here, so you can still access that energy. So yeah, I used to collect them and then I started handing them out. But you know, crystals kind of have a mood of their own. Anybody that's got crystals, you've probably experienced this where you'll put your crystal somewhere and then when you go to grab it, it's gone. and it's gone for 2 weeks, and then, or 3 weeks, or 4 months, something, and then it'll just pop up in a place that there's no fucking way. There's no way. Don't play with me. I am 100% convinced that crystals are alive and they grow legs and they walk around because I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. I've had necklaces with crystals on them. I'll set them down somewhere, and then when I go back, the necklace is exactly where I set it, but the crystal is not on that fucking chain. The chain is exactly how I set it, but the crystal is not on there anymore. So I am 100% convinced that crystals are, in fact, alive, which means they have energy. But I be handing mine out all the time, too. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have any crystals anymore. But they'll do that. They'll hop from person to person. Like, I'll tell you right now, the majority of the people I have handed rose quartz to, they would never go out and purchase their own rose quartz. Most of them won't even go in like spirit shops or anything like that. So the only way for them to have gotten a rose quartz is to come across somebody like me that would have them to give them. Like sometimes that's how it works too. Kind of neat. Actually, very neat. Let's see. Don't use it anymore. No, it got bad. That's why I was trying to clear negative energies. Oh, are you talking about pendulum, Heather? Amethyst, yes. I'm drawn to labradorite. Oh, labradorite's a beautiful one. Labradorite has a lot of powers. I think one of my favorite is the protection. You can do a lot of protection, what's it called? Grids with it, right? So how did I do it? I had a ceramic pot, like for planting, and I filled it with rice. And then I put 4 labradites, and in between them I had a different crystal. And then I think there was a labradite in the middle as well. And then you just kind of take your finger and you connect them all together, and it activates a protective grid around your house. I shit you not. There was somebody that was trying to make plans with me several times throughout the summer that I did this. And every time they went to come over, something would come up. One time their vehicle wouldn't start. Another time they got a flat tire. Another time they weren't feeling good and they ended up coming down with like the flu or something like that. It was wild. I think one time they actually got called into work or something. And it was weird because they were about to lose their job. They're like, if you don't come in and cover the shift, we're going to fire you, even though it was illegal for them to do that. But it was weird how no matter what, that person was not going to be able to come to my house. And we ended up just stopped making the plans. And shortly after that, I took the rice down because I didn't want to get like mice or anything up in the house. And it was starting to get into fall season. And so I was like, well, I guess I'll take it down. But we had already given up by then, so I know why it happened when it happened, while it happened. But yeah, it didn't click until after the fact. Labradorite's also good for dreams, too. Where'd you find real moldavite? I got scammed $65 for a little piece of glass. Oh, gross. Again, go to a crystal shop if you can. But I actually got mine. It was a ring I got off Amazon, but it was like a $400, $500. It was a very expensive fucking ring. And it's because of the crystal. The crystal is hard to find. It's not made here on Earth. It comes from meteorites. So it's hard to find, and it's so very powerful. You be very careful with it. It is the strongest crystal I've played with yet. And you have to take breathers. And when you first use it, it's going to clean you out. So if you've ever had Reiki done, you know how you got to spend about an hour in the bathroom afterwards? Well, this moldavite, working with moldavite, can clean you out. So don't be surprised if you go to the bathroom and you see worms in your stool. Don't be surprised if, your stomach cleans itself every time you eat something that's not actually healthy and good for your body. Don't be surprised if you can't drink alcohol anymore, or you can't overdose on coffee like me every morning. You can only do that when you're taking breaks. You know, you got to be really, really mindful with stuff like that. Moldavite is a very intense one and a very expensive one. But I ended up getting mine off of Amazon. But again, I would definitely recommend going to a holistic store. Especially because if you put it in your hand, you will feel if it's really Moldavite or just a piece of glass. You can tell. There's no... You don't even have to be spiritual or woke to be like, wait a minute, what is this? You'll know. I remember... I was a little... Oh, wow. Hey, Andrea. Practice readings for my sister. I use the playing cards that have pictures of crystals to give them power crystals. Ooh. And I use clear quartz to help the energies to them. That's awesome. What happened to the members only group? Oh, Jamie, I miss it too, girl, for real. One of the stalkers I was dealing with, I had to shut a lot of stuff down because of that jackass. But we might, it's funny you mentioned that. I've been thinking about bringing the members back. I've been thinking about bringing that back. And seeing that right there, I will take that as a sign that you guys would like it to come back as well. Could positive high vibrational crystals being used by 623 pure hearts could open a portal? There's a lot of different crystal grids that can open portals if you want, but like, people need to be really fucking careful opening portals. We are on such a low dimension that you really shouldn't be opening doors down here. You know what I mean? Like, if you're talking to your guides, that's one thing. But do you really know where all these doors lead to? I don't know. I'm not one for testing those kinds of waters. You knock on that door long enough, sooner or later somebody's going to answer you. And it might not be who you think it is. And I've learned that. So, like, I'd be really careful about using crystals specifically to open portals. Really careful with that. I want everyone to have a rose quartz, amethyst, black tourmaline, and green adventurine. Those are beautiful. And carnelian, yes. Solid lineup. It really is too, isn't it? I know there's some of them that you can mix together to help support like anxiety. There's a mix you can put together for autism. And I've seen that one work. Anger. There's a few people that tell me, like, you've calmed down a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I use crystals. And they don't get it. But there's a connection between crystals. And they can help support different things when you start mixing them together. Selenite. Oh, I forgot about that. I think my selenite is the one that's the 32 pounder. I don't know. I've got some big ass heavy crystals. But it's not actually selenite. It's the, what is it called? It's just like selenite, but it's the one next to it. Anyways, that's a very powerful one too. Love a private discussion group. Yeah, I hear you, Brian. I really think we're going to bring it back. I've been thinking about starting a platform, just don't know. So Jamie, take your birthday. So the date, the month, and the year, all 4 digits, and add them all together. And then just keep adding those numbers together until you are left with one number. If your number is a 9, a 1, or a 2, go ahead and start your channel. If it's not, it is not your year for that yet. I hope that helps. I have my dad a prescription for tinnitus. Tinnitus. You know tinnitus isn't real, right? The ringing in your ear is you literally tuning into the frequency of the earth. The Schumann resonance. You can also hear other people's vibrations, or as you learn things, as you shift things in your environment, your ears will ring. That's what that is. It's not fucking tinnitus. I remember talking about that a while ago. I don't think it's real. I think that pharma uses stupid shit to be like, oh, we've got a medicine for that, when it's not something that needs medicine, but they want to make money. So they're like, that's an issue. We've got a medicine for that, like ADHD and shit like that. That just means that you can focus on multiple things at once, right? So if you're understimulated, you're probably a little bit stressed. But if you get more things going on, you're like, all right, this, we're doing stuff, we're getting stuff done, you're feeling really good, you're being productive, right? It's basically, you need to be moving. You need to have that energy, that inertia going, right? Otherwise, it's just stagnant energy. It's potential energy. You got to have that balance. And knowing where you're balanced, we're all different, right? So we all have a different balance. And if your balance is so far off from what they claim is the norm, then they just open the portal for their fucking, let's make some money. Let's call that an illness, and let's come up with a fucking cure for it. And usually it's just a bunch of chemicals that are going to kill you. It's ridiculous. Oh, you're talking about using crystals to prescribe your dad for the tonight. That went over my head. That went right over my head at first. I'm sorry, girl. Nonstop for years. Oh, I just want him to have crystals. He carries a pouch now. Yeah, you're talking about the crystals. I'm 5'2", okay? Things go over my head sometimes. My bad. I'm so sorry, babe. I realized when I said, I was like, I feel like I'm off. True, no, I don't want to open any dimension. Wouldn't even know how to begin with. But sometimes it seems like dimensions open up when you do certain things in life. A good petal's not bad, or a closing. Some portals are, like, I've had to clear portals before, but it's basically like, how do I even explain it? Like, the land itself, the property somewhere, has had so much sadness, death, low vibrational shit seep into it, that entities can trap souls in those places. So you got to clean that out, and then you got to close it down. Those are the only kind of portals I have ever specifically worked with. Ley lines, but I don't think those are portals. And then I have, like, you guys know how I talk about, I feel like there's like some kind of like a bubble around us. I have watched that bubble open and shit pass through. And it happens so fast that I cannot actually explain it to you. And I wish I would have caught it on camera, because then I could have actually paused it, you know what I mean? And zoomed in and like really shared it with the world. And like, what is this, guys? It didn't feel spiritual. That's all I can say. And the energy that came off of it was so fucking negative. I didn't like it. It didn't feel good. I remember throwing up right afterwards, and I think I cried myself to sleep that night. And nothing was wrong. It was like PMS. Just saying. Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, like, I know there's a bunch of different portals, but I try not to play with that stuff, because like, y'all, I have seen some shit. And I don't understand it, so I don't want to go poking a bear with a stick to find out it's a bear. You know what I mean? Let's see. ADHD is a hunter mindset. Those people would have survived and thrived before modern times. Probably. I'm super, like, well, I'm not super ADHD, but I've been aware that I'm ADHD for a very long time now. And you have the energy to really pay attention to all the little details, because you can do that multitasking thing. I remember as a waitress, as a training waitress, I would ask the new girls or guys that come in, are you a parent? Do you have children? If they're like, yeah, I'm like, okay, you'll be fine. Because you have to do multiple things at a time when you're running a household, when you have children, right? But if you don't have children, oftentimes you don't understand what that's like. So you got to kind of break it down and explain it in a different way. Does that make sense? I don't even know how we got off on that from ADHD, but okay. Yeah, he would never take any medication. Good. The bubble is the firmament. Courtney, I love that you just said that. The firmament's mentioned in the Bible, and I've been seeing a lot of, I don't know why, but my TikTok has been pushing a lot of flat earth stuff on me. They say it's an algorithm and they give you the stuff that you're naturally drawn to, but I have literally never looked up flat earth. Ever. Ever. And watching what they're saying, I notice they're mentioning experiments, and I'm like, hold the phone. If you're talking about experiments, I can go look that up myself. So I highly suggest for anybody that's still curious about that or just interested, you got some free time, why not, right? Look up in order Operation High Jump, Fishbowl. I think I missed one. Hold on. I got my book right here. I believe Operation High Jump was 47. Nope. Operation High Jump was in 1946. I was close. Operation Deep Freeze, 1955. And then Fishbowl in 1962. All three of those, in that order, is very interesting. We have an ice wall. It's about 200 feet tall. And it goes all the way around the globe. If it's flat, that would actually make sense. The reflection of our continents on the moon, I've seen that. That's one you can't unsee. That one's really fucking hard to debunk, to be honest with you. I'm still trying to. But it's a run for my money, yo. It's a run for my money. I'm like the ghost hunter that I don't want to come in and be like, yup, you got ghosts. I'd rather do everything I can to debunk it first. That's just kind of how I do it. But, yeah, these operations are pretty interesting if you want to check that out. Supposedly, there's a lot more to our planet than what they tell us. They say that we've got the ice wall, but then they say there's like 2 more beyond that. And it's interesting because if you look at CERN, was it CERN that just built the new building? And now instead of their logo being 3 6s, there's like 5 of them or 6 of them. They really wanted to push that subliminal message, didn't they? And because didn't they just merge with somebody? Anyways, so they made this new building and it's like 5 6s, but right in the middle you can see the flat earth map with the ice wall and the fucking dome, the firmament. I was like, what the hell? And there's so many references in movies. I'm not sold on flat earth or the firmament, the dome, anything like that. I'm not 100% sold on anything like that. But there's a lot of theories out there. There's a lot of people that are talking about it. And some of them are proving points that are, like I said, really hard to debunk. Look at Hunger Games. They reference the firmament when she, I forget her name now, but when she takes her bow and arrow and she shoots it at the sky and she hits the firmament and it's a fucking screen. It's a screen. And then they reference it in Simpsons, of course. Everything's in fucking Simpsons. Several movies. There's even people that have mentioned it. I don't want to say her fucking name, because fuck this bitch. But Hillary Clinton has even told us that we have a firmament, a dome over us, and that we are all underwater. Which is interesting because when Atlantis fell, have you seen the movie Atlantis? They reference it in there too. They capture Mother Gaia. They put a dome over us, and then they push us under the water. And that's exactly what the idea of the firmament is, which is mentioned in the Bible several times. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know. If you've got information on that, though, send it my way. You can always send the links to my email, that's something that I'm currently spending some time on, because that's an interesting one for sure. Like I said, it's hard to debunk that. Let's see. An entity tried to do that to me, to trap me in a house because it can't leave. So when they see a soul, they can feel and see them, and they can tap into yours and appear and manifest enough to hurt you certain time. Okay, so what they do is they try to attach a silver cord to you. Break that silver cord. Break that silver cord. But never ever break your own silver cord, because that's what keeps your soul attached to your vessel. If you do break your own cord, that's when you essentially sell your soul. Just saying. And for some reason, when you were like, try to trap me in the house because it can't leave, that reminds me so much of American Horror Story, when in the very first season, Murder House, I think, when that girl, he fell in love with that girl, he died and couldn't leave. And then she ended up, because she was already attached to him sexually, she took on all that karma that he had and killed herself. And then she couldn't leave. But because her soul had been disassociated from her body, she didn't know she was dead. Until she even tried leaving the house and still couldn't figure out that she was dead, until Tate showed her her dead body. And when she saw it with her own eyes, then she believed it, because she had already sold her soul. That's something that they left out, but when you study it enough and you research it enough, you can see the deeper meaning behind these shows and these movies, and you're like, wait a minute, did they just say, and nobody else will catch it? Wild. Or like the Masonic rings. Pay attention for that. Pay attention for those rings in some of these movies, because they put it, like, you'll even see it pinned on a man's shirt. Pay attention for stuff like that, guys. It's everywhere. Excuse me. And I believe the Bible says that in the last days, it's all like that. It's all corrupt. Everything is corrupt. And if you look around, it is all corrupt. Which makes me feel like maybe this is end days. And what if the third dimension and the fifth dimension separating is the same fucking thing as the rapture? And the fifth dimension is the group of people that are going to that higher earth. And the third dimension are the people left behind because they didn't ascend. I don't know, just something I thought was interesting. Kind of like how every religion believes there was a flood, and there is proof all over the place. Even the Sphinx has water damage on it in the middle of the damn desert. I live in Michigan, and there are some places, because I've traveled all over Michigan, there are some places where it's just country, and you can literally see the waves like it's at the bottom of an ocean. It's insane. Ooh, I like that. Past life regression therapy and Reiki mixed together as counseling for healing trauma. That's beautiful. Actually, it's interesting because there are a few years of my childhood that I don't remember. I have absolutely no memory. I have no idea what happened. But then I did have other trauma that happened that I do remember. So, like, I can only imagine that whatever happened to me, that my brain was like, this was so bad, we need to not remember this, was so bad that, like, but then how do I heal what I don't fucking remember what happened to me? So, past life regression, I think I might have to do a session. Doctor Strange, the new one. Oh, I love that you brought this up. It was like just a couple hours ago. I saw just the commercial and I was like, do you see the Satan in this shit? Because he does the devil horns with his hands. He does the 666 with his hands. He's got the multiple. Oh. I had no idea. And I'm a huge fucking Marvel fan. And I want to fucking my inner child wants to throw an absolute temper tantrum. I want to throw myself on the ground. I want to kick and scream and cry. And I want to bitch smack Disney myself. Fuck all of it. I'm so fucking irritated with it. Disney itself, just the name, has 666 in it. And you guys know about all the child trafficking. They're picking up so many people that work there. Oh my gosh, it's insane. Then again, the people are waking up and seeing all the corruption. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. That's why the meat factories went down. 2 of them here in Michigan, because human meat. Human fucking meat. And they're trying to get rid of the evidence. It's so messed up. Let's see what you said about Doctor Strange. The one will really tickle your brain with multi-dimensions and a lot of symbolism. And they literally say the name, the Illuminati. I caught that in the commercial. Doctor Strange, the Illuminati will see you now. I caught that. But you know what that is? That is the character, the actor in that movie, just like they do in the music videos. They are showing you what they're doing. They have to tell you to an extent, but then they go and say it's all a conspiracy, so you don't believe it and you don't think it's true, so you continue to give them your time, your money, and your energy, and you connect that shit to your heart and your soul, which is why I'm so upset, because how much of my energy did I put into Marvel? Even the comics. Yeah. I'm that generation. I read the comics. It breaks my fucking heart. And then you have WandaVision, right? And if you ever look at her crown, it's the red and it actually has the horns on it. And where does she draw her energy from? Down below. And what kind of energy is it? That red energy. Which is highly recognized as sex trafficking, the sex magic that they do. I don't want to have to get into all that, but like, yeah. Fucking disgusted right here. I saw that, Chris. Hey, Scott, what's good? When I was meditating a long time ago, I used to be able to see with my third eye and go places beyond, like trying to push the limits. And then my vision just went black, dark. Ever since, I can't meditate. Oh my gosh, what? Somebody must have caught on to you doing that, but if you've got that ability, you can do it again. I almost like see a key, like somebody tried to put a lock on you, but you are the key. Nobody has power over you unless you give it to them. So if you recognize that somebody tried to stop you, just recognizing it alone will undo it. Because you recognizing it is the light bulb coming on, which shines, puts light into the situation. You can see where it went wrong, so now you can do something about fixing it, correcting it, right? It's like if you've got a leak somewhere, you got to find where that leak is coming from so that you can fix the problem. Same deal. They will be left behind and controlled by AI. Yeah. Yeah. In a completely controlled matrix. Exactly, Courtney. Exactly. And it's going to be Elon Musk and Bill Gates pushing that. My 2 cents. Girl, I feel the exact same. I completely fucking agree with you. These 2 fucking monsters. Absolute monsters. Try to clear your chakras or figure out what blockages you have. Absolutely. And Michigan is beautiful. Yeah, you know, even in the winter time, it's cold, so it's not fun, right? But it's beautiful, especially if you can get into the country and you just see the layer of snow and ice on everything. It is pretty. It is. But like for vacationing, right? That's why we all go up north. Yep. Northern Michigan is pristine. Yeah, like in the UP, when the wind blows, you can hear the trees. I don't know how to explain it, but like it'll sound like it's raining, but it's such a peaceful, you know, like when it's sprinkling, but it's not. It just sounds like it is. It's magical up there. in the UP. Let's see. It's almost like all those people getting... Oops. I missed one. Where'd we go? Yes. What was their meat? Human meat in Michigan. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Listen, it's okay if you want to hop off the live right now. Research that. Research that, please. Please. Because what McDonald's is selling you, that's not what you think it is. And I knew I was absolutely disgusted with McDonald's last summer because I bit into a chicken nugget and there was a fucking bone in my chicken nugget. A bone. And now that I know what they're putting in their meat, please go look that up. Don't take my word for it. Go look that up all on your own because people need to know. It's almost like those people are getting thrown up under the bus and the people that's really doing the business get away while you're distracted, catching the workers, not the bosses. No, they're going after the bosses. They're going to, yeah. Yeah, they're going after all that. Oh, actually the milk. What was going on with the milk? They found something in milk and then, oh, I gotta write this down because I gotta get it right. There's a company that bought out the largest dairy farm in America. It happens to be on the West Coast. I believe it's in California. And they wiped everything. They demolished the entire fucking thing. So the pastures, the, yeah. Even the house that's been there for generations and generations and generations, it's all, the whole property has been demolished. It's been leveled to the ground. So there is going to be a shortage on milk on top of the formula that they have sitting at the borders for the illegal immigrants. Even our politicians can't feed their babies right now. It's a fucking problem. And now we're going to have an issue with milk where the price is going to go up and there's going to be a shortage. And that pisses me off because milk is one of the only things that Joey will drink. He is autistic. He is very, very picky. So that right there scares me. Let's see. Always reiterate that they tell us what they're up to. Yeah, to a certain extent. Especially when you see... It's more prominent in the music industry. Somebody will walk out of a fire. That is them being reborn, but not the way you think. They're being reborn without a soul, but instead with entities inside them, right? And a lot of them will come out and say, yeah, that's not me that's on stage. That's my, they used to say alter ego, but now that's the demon I sold my soul to. They'll just straight up say it. Straight up. I'm not even really worried about all that right now, though, in the world. I'm worried about the PEDO shit. But they do, to an extent, tell you, yeah, it's the symbols. It's like when you see them on magazine covers and shit, look for the one eye, look for the, you know how we do okay with our hand? It looks like a 666. Right? And sometimes they'll do the 666 over their eye or the all mocking tongue. Especially with a triangle, they'll do triangles with their hands. They'll hold it up to their mouth, their forehead, an eye, or just down like by their sexual organs. I don't even know what else to call it. There's all kinds of different, the black and white checkerboard. If you get invited to their house and you think they might be a part of that society, there's a couple things you can look for. There will be things like erect statues, a big white rock, like a big ass white rock. I'm talking like a fucking boulder. That's a symbol. If they have the stars on the house, each star is representation of another member of this cult or Mason or whatever you want to call them living in that house. And if any stars have been removed, either that person moved out or they died. Like, there's a bunch of different things. You've got the rings, the Mason ring. You guys know with the compass and all that business. I don't know. That should help you out, like, at least to get started with it. They put it right in front of you and then tell you you're crazy. Exactly. Disney ruined Star Wars for me too. Honestly, that is so facts. They fucking ruined Star Wars. Now they're ruining Marvel. I'm actually gonna cry. I'm so disgusted by Disney. I'm so disgusted by it. And then you have Club 33 had that Disney cruise. Why did that bitch go to Epstein's pedophile island? Oh, damn it, I said the P word. Whatever. I've said enough on this thing. They're probably gonna fucking... You can't monetize this video, and you're gonna have to take it down. Or they'll take it down for me. They usually do. Everybody will start calling me, Jess, where'd your video go? Or emailing me. I went to send it to a friend and it's gone. That's not me, guys. Calling it a conspiracy theory is the new way of gaslighting. Yeah, if you've got proof, it's not a conspiracy. Exactly. Let's see. I got attacked when I meditated. Soldiers was in it. I saw a big ship over my silver cord. Got cut. And then it went black. I was being followed and attacked. They were trying to, but they can't do, they don't have the power to do that. They were trying to manipulate you into believing that they could. Because if they can get you to believe it, it's going to work. Okay, let me run you through this scenario. It's the placebo effect if you want to look it up. But so they said that the sun's rays is causing cancer. We need you to wear sunblock, guys. We need you to wear sunblock. So everybody's wearing sunblock, yet we have all this rise in cancer cases. Partially because people believed it. Partially because the sunblock causes fucking skin cancer. But the collective consciousness. So if you think about, it was the 100th monkey effect. The 100th monkey effect. Yes. Proving the morphic resonance and collective connection. So in this experiment, what they did is they took 100 monkeys on the beach and they gave them, I think it was avocados. And the first few monkeys that got their avocados were eating them, but they had sand on them until one monkey walks it over to the beach, rinses it off in the water and ate it. It tastes much better this way. So the other monkeys start doing it. Once the 100th monkey takes it over to the water, rinses it off, and eats it, they went to a completely different side of this island, and the very first monkey that grabbed it went right to the water and did it. And then they went to different islands and did it too. When enough of any species becomes aware of something, everybody else naturally starts picking up on it. Telepathic communication, they proved it with this theory, with this experiment. And it's not just in humans. Oh, thank you so much for that donation. Oh, honey, it's more than enough. It's more than enough. Thank you. There's so many fucking experiments where they do stuff like this. But that one is probably the gentlest, so I'll use that as an example. But yeah, again, don't take my word. Go check that out for yourself, you know, research it yourself. Don't ever take anybody's word for it. I got attacked when I meditated. Soldiers was in it. I saw a big ship. I'm trying to... I wonder if that was like just one big ship. I don't know. I feel like I want to do a whole reading on that, Chris. Ohio. I believe narcissism is the new evil. Yeah. We got some pretty serious fish to fry, and it's all the PEDO stuff. And yes, they are narcissists at their finest, but I feel like that term is used so much that it's just, it doesn't have the gravity it used to. Does that make sense? Like, we just don't heat it as much as we used to. It could just be me, though. You say something over and over again, and you 5 minutes later after saying volcano, you're like, wait, volcano, am I saying it right? And you forget what it means, you know what I mean? It's just, it's not the same. It's been said so many times. But no, people are starting to realize what's really going on with all these missing children. You know how many missing children we have. That's actually, Ukraine is #1 in the entire world for that. Food for thought. Just saying. With America having their hands all up in that, when nobody here actually wants our hands in that, it's just our government. We're sending billions and billions and billions of dollars over there. We just, Biden, oh, Biden. Oh, Biden, oh, Biden. He just approved another $33 billion to go over to Ukraine through September. But we can't solve this food shortage, milk shortage, formula shortage problem. And it's not even really a shortage. It's the corruption is coming down. They're no longer able to do what they've been doing, feeding us what they've been feeding us. And that's what people are starting to catch on to, which is that collective awakening. Who said when the people realize what the real war is over, that's when the real war will begin? It's over the children. Like, this is it, guys. In this summit meeting on, what is it, the 22nd, I have a pretty serious feeling they're going to sign some paperwork about whatever they decide there on the 4th of July. Which, interestingly enough, they signed that 250 years prior with the last Pluto return. Bagheera, where are you, baby? Kiki, come here. Meow. Yeah. What's the matter? What's the matter, sweetie? They have created literal zombies with the human meat and fast food. Oh my gosh. That's so gross. I didn't know about that. I'll have to check that out. I thought they were going to try to create zombies with that drug that they were putting out there, the bath rocks or some shit. What was that? The bath salt? I don't remember, but people were legit looking possessed with that stuff and like eating people's faces when they were high on that. I thought they were going to try to create zombies with that all those years ago. Do you guys remember that shit? Wasn't it bath salts? I think it was bath salts. They were like snorting it or some shit. I don't remember. Fucking stupid. They're doing that in Arizona too. Many artists have straight up admitted to selling their soul. I know. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. That's what's got me taking it much, much more serious. The golden ruler. Fuck him. Not you. Not you. Yeah, I figured out it. No, it's cool. I'll wait. Yeah, I figured out it was the pseudo effect because I can still dream. If it was gone, everything would be gone. So you're right. Plastics. Hot plastics. What do you mean by that, sweetie? I'm pissed about plastic, too. They kept telling us, if you recycle it, we'll reuse it. We'll break it down and we'll reuse it for something else and we'll, keep our planet healthy. And then they throw the plastic in the ocean and tell us it's our fucking fault that the plastic is killing these turtles. What? How's that my fault? You lying ass prick. It was bath salts. Okay, I thought so. God, it was so long ago. I wasn't sure if I was saying it right. Oh my gosh, yes. Recently watched a documentary about Ukraine being trafficking hub spot. This was made from many years ago. Yeah, this isn't news. This is not news. Made me really start to question the narrative in the Biden family involvement. Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. And the Clintons. Those fucking reptilians just have their hands in all of the shit. Have you noticed that? I am really getting tired of this human trafficking. I wouldn't doubt it if they even did space human trafficking and drug trafficking in space. You know we've never actually been to space, right? It astounds me that people don't know this yet. Mars is in Canada. Um, just type that into your Google search. It's very easy to find that information. They don't even try hiding it anymore. Just Google Mars in Canada. That's it. Those exact words. That's it. That's all you have to do. And you will see Mars is in fucking Canada, yo. It's not out there. They just put a red screen over it and make it look like it's Mars. Or like a tint. I kid you not. Yes, red dove. A red dove? Not like a red cardinal? What is a red dove? That doesn't sound good. Dove's supposed to be white. Purity. Red is like blood. And we all know what they do with that adrenochrome. The military can use plastics to fix their weapons. That's why it's thrown in the water. That makes no fucking sense. It's like they purposely want us to lose then. A big pack of lies. They are, yeah. Causing cancers. That's why I decided at my age I am not wanting to have kids now. I don't want to raise kids in this world right now. I have been saying that. I've been saying that for a minute. I had my first 2 children, and then I started becoming very, very aware of what's going on in this world. You hear it growing up. The world is a sick and dangerous place, honey. You got to be careful. You got to be safe. You need to pay attention. And you don't understand until you see it. You know, when you've got somebody that's following you and you really feel like somebody's about to try and pick you up in the parking lot, follow you out of the store and grab, you start paying attention to the stuff. Like when you have that wake-up call, you have that wake-up call. I was done with I had my son, I had my daughter, I was good. And then, you know, love makes you do some interesting things. And I ended up getting spoiled, you know, and I don't regret it, but like at the same time, I brought them into this world. And then, of course, he struggles with autism, and he's like the most beautiful, perfect angel baby. And that right there is hard. Because I know how much he struggles, and he doesn't even know how much he struggles. Like that, oh, that messes with me. I can't even lie. Some days I can't. I have such a hard time getting out of bed or doing anything. I just want to be with him. And it's almost the same concept, right? It's almost the same concept. But yeah, now they're pushing all this, maybe pushing all this shit. I want to go to Mars, Canada. I hope Mars is neat. I'm not kidding you guys. Like, I'm serious. Hold on, I'll show you. I'll pull it up on my laptop too, so you can copy the links and stuff if you want. Did you watch the most recent AHS, American Horror Story? No. I almost put it on last night, but I didn't. And, like, I kind of want to, but at the same time, I'm going to have to, like, really protect myself first. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me get rid of that, and I'll pull up a new... Okay. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube, actually, since you're already on YouTube, right? Mars is in Canada. Devon Island. Look, guys. There's a bunch of them. It's easy to find. Look right here. This is Devon Island. And that's that same exact rock on Mars. Look, even the rocks are on the same spot. They haven't even moved the rocks on Earth to make it look different. Like, they didn't even bother with that. Let me see if I can actually... Because I don't know if I can play their stuff. Community guidelines. Community guidelines. It's so hard to be a creator on fucking YouTube. It's easier on TikTok, but you guys aren't on my TikTok, so. Alright, I'm on Google. Mars in Canada. And then let me search images. I really want the space. You know how they built that colony? They've got the buildings there. I want the side-by-side. The video I saw was Google Earth. I actually went to Google Earth myself and I zoomed in. It's no joke. Google Earth it. And you can start with Devon Island. That's where it is. You zoom in at Devon Island. I don't think I'm going to find it on the images. It's easier, like I said, just to see it for yourself. I'm surprised they don't have it covered up. They try to hide so much except for that, right? Anyways, I don't want to get lost in this. I felt like that was a documentary. A lot of them are, or at least they want it to be that way, right? That's why they push it so much. Did you know that when Netflix tells you #1 watched in US right now, those are the ones they want you to watch. They're not actually #1 watched. They're #1 what they want you to watch. The word trending itself, if you break it down in numerology, is an addictive term. An addictive term. Let that sink in. An addictive term. So think of like drugs or alcohol. Those can become addictive, right? There are words that hold that same addictive behavior because of their frequency, because of their numerology. This gets deep, guys. I'm probably confusing a few people at this point. I've probably been confusing people. I'm sorry. Anything to say about weed in today's world. Just kicked it for good, and I feel so clear-headed and powerful. Pretty sure it's yet another deception to keep us low vibrational. Actually, I still smoke. Here and there, though. I'm not, like, high all day. There's a limit on it. It's a plant. It's an herb. And it can actually benefit a lot of things. I myself have this weird thing where I don't eat. I just don't have an appetite. So if it's like the end of the day and I haven't ate, I'll smoke a little bit so I actually have an appetite so that I can actually eat. Ooh. If I try to force myself to eat, then as I'm chewing it, I'll actually get sick. And on top of not even be able to swallow that, I'm then also losing fluids. So like there's reasons why it helps. Anxiety is another one. PTSD is another one. Helping you to sleep is another one. There's a few different reasons you can. But if you're smoking too much or all day long, you know what I mean? It can become habit forming. So like my thoughts on it, I don't actually think it's a bad thing. Can you abuse it? Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. Should it be put down and you take breaks from it every now and then? Absolutely. But I don't actually think it's bad or anything like that. I really don't. I actually, friend of mine, his sister has put cancer into remission because of weed. So, no, I don't think it's bad. I think it's actually so good that they say it's bad. Because remember, they decided that all of our techniques for medicine were going to be deemed, what was our modern medicine was deemed inefficient or whatever, and then they came in with all their golden treatments, pharma. And that's a bunch of chemicals that mind altering and just, you read the side effects on some of this shit. I would rather have the headache. Fuck. Are you kidding me? But yeah, weed, I don't think it's actually bad. Unless you use it, you know, in an abusive manner. Red Dove is what they called the bath salts. They were sold here in Kentucky. Oh. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Still to this day makes no sense why a person was in my neighborhood with an ice cream truck and another truck behind it playing the song. What? And in the middle of the night, and it stopped at my mailbox. Uh-huh. That is creepy. That is very creepy. You guys should watch Bob Larson. He actually did a video on the Biden family curse. Ooh. That's interesting. They both left when I turned my mom's wheel because they stopped right where we were going to stop. Then came back and they disappeared. That is so creepy, Chris. That is so creepy. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Do you know of the late Jordan Maxwell? Hearing your knowledge of words and spells. I actually don't have a lot of knowledge on spells. I don't do spells. One time I was doing a goddess bath and I added on in my intentions if it could bring in my true love. And I had this guy that was clearly obsessed with me. Come to find out he had a girl and she was in the service. Oh, I don't play that shit. I don't play that shit at all. At all. So when it comes to like manifesting my partner, I won't even. Nope. And all I did was take a goddess bath. I had some roses that were dying, so I put the petals in there. I did the bubble bath, right? I had the little fuzzies in there, the smell goods, right? And maybe a candle or an incense or something like that going, and just a normal goddess bath, right? To clear my energy. And I'm like, if you could bring in my person while you're at it, that would be cool. And then that happened. So yeah, no. I really don't have a lot of on that. Numerology, though, makes me think you might. If you haven't, please look this legend up. I will. I've heard of Jordan Maxwell. Look at this cat. You got something you want to say? Now he's like running away. He's got food. He's got water. He's fine. Anyways, where were we? You said Jordan Maxwell. I'm going to look that up. Let me write that down real quick before I move on. I'm back and forth when it comes to names. I can remember the name of a location before I can remember the name of the person that claimed that location or started war with that location for whatever fucking reason. I'm better with numbers than names. But I'll definitely look that up. I read Yep. I read Chernobyl, HQ's hub for people trafficking. I came across one article that mentioned something along those lines, but I haven't. Other than that, you're the only other mention of it. It could have been. It very well could have been. That could be one reason why Russia was so in a hurry to claim Chernobyl. But I also heard that Chernobyl was housing weapons of mass destruction, bombs. So, I don't know. Hey, Cherry B, what's good? Oh, words being spells. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's why we call it spelling in school. Yep, okay, I see where you're going with that. Yeah, because they talk about things like, when you greet somebody, you say, hello, good morning, right? Hello backwards is, oh, hell, right? And then you hear good is good, right? But then you say morning. Well, what are we mourning? What are we mourning? And then we start our Monday. Today is Monday. It's the start of your week. Your week. Why weak? We're too weak to stand up for ourselves or something. Like, what is the point of your week? And then there's the weekend. So it's like you have some downtime before a whole nother week comes around. Like, it's the terminology they use with the spelling with words. Yeah, that I've got some research on. Definitely not an expert with it, but it's interesting. It's very interesting. Especially when you take numerology, like, you know how A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, and so on. There are certain people who their name literally breaks down to fucking 666, like Elon Musk. I know a lot of you guys probably love him so much. He's the motherfucker trying to put the chip in your head. And his girlfriend or his ex, what was her name? She sang that song, You're Not Even Alive If You're Not Backed Up on a Drive. Something about AI is going to take over the world, but they'll reward us when they do. What, Grimes? Her name was Grimes. I think they have a baby together, maybe 2. I don't know. I don't really keep up with all that stuff, but I'm just saying, they're fucking puppets. Oh, and isn't it interesting that the, what is it, the Washington, what's it called? The place where you can go to visit. It's just got a bunch of, like, memorabilia and stuff, kind of like a museum, I guess. Well, the Wall of Presidents, it's been a year and a half into his term, and they still haven't posted Biden on that wall. Trump is the last one. And I do think it's interesting how, you remember they did a movie like a year and a half in, and they still haven't put him on that wall. Jeez, oh jeez. There was a movie they did about just presidential whatever, and they added a room to the fucking White House. This was a fake wow, am I really having this moment? Fuck. Oval Office. Damn, dude. Talk about being attacked. I said enough, though. I probably triggered something's listening. Ah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't have enough attention. They don't give a shit what I say. But anyways, have you noticed how in Trump's pictures, while he's in the Oval Office, you can see the box with that little button next to him. You can see the curtains, the flags, the floor, and all that. But in all the pictures where Biden is in the Oval House, or the Oval Room, he's in the fake one that they made for the movie. There's flags missing. The floor is different. There's no box by him. So I don't know. There is a conspiracy, because I don't have any facts on it other than those pictures. There is a rumor that Biden is not our fucking president. Oh, Biden, oh, Biden, oh, Biden, oh, Biden, oh, oh, Biden. I can't even help it. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys have caught on to that one yet or not, but that kind of got me. His mother is Cruella de Vil. Probably wolf in sheep's clothing. Absolutely. The last president. His son, Sup. Supposedly wrote a book and is a time traveler. I'm 100% convinced that the guy that directed for The Simpsons, and then right after that he did Futurama. I almost said Family Guy, but no, it was Futurama. I'm pretty sure he's a time traveler because he called way too much. Way too much. Let's see. Look up Barron Trump, the last president. See, that's what I was talking about. Bagheera, what? Sorry, somebody just parked right in front of my house. That was weird. This book was written in the 1800s. Oh, it's probably going to be really hard to get a hold of then. Now a red car? And they stop right... Can I help you? Like, what was the purpose of that? Biden isn't even a president, and the globalists aren't even on control of the earth. That's crazy. Look her up, no joke. Oh, his mom? I guess. Let's see. Who is Elon Musk's mother? Oh my god, she does look like Cruella de Vil. What the fuck? She actually looks like an AI. What is that? You can see a really clear difference in these photos. Like, look, you guys, what the hell? Let's make it big. Oops, not that one, I'm sorry. Look at young her. Look at how alive she looks here. And then and it's not even age. You see, it's the eyes. It's the eyes. They really are the window to the soul. But then, now look at this one. What happened? What happened? Who hurt you? You know what I mean? Like, you can literally see when they're not with us anymore. Look at this one. Like, that's like so fucking CGI. They had to clean that up big time. Oh, I just busted her ass. Look at that. There's the hidden hand. Are you a Mason? Yes or no? And she's got the hidden hand in this picture. Actually, she's got the hidden hand in this picture too. And look at her looking off to the side. You guys are like, maybe she's an AI now. She really does look like she's CGI'd in all this. You can tell when they take the editing on the computer just a little bit too far. This looks like a totally different person. She still looks alive here. She still looks alive here. It must have been shortly after this moment. She looks a little scared, too. If you look at her face, she's like, oh my God, what has my son gotten into? She looks scared to me. That looks... The way her mouth... That looks scared to me. And then, boom, we flash to this shit. Looking all techie and whatnot. Especially with the silver wristband and ring. That silver ring. And even her earrings, which, by the way, are triangles. That's another symbology. White representing purity. Yeah, she had... This must be, like, her coming out. Look at the smoke in the background. And she's literally holding up a shiny mirror-like surface. Fucking smoke and mirrors. It's right in front of your face. How can you not look at these pictures? And how can you not interpret it? Smoke and mirrors. It's so obvious to me. I mean, once you know, you see it everywhere. Everywhere. Crazy. Oh, and I wanted to show you guys pictures of, oh wait, close out of that, because I was trying to look it up on, it's fine, don't worry about that. Stop it. Okay. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. That's the fun thing about having a touchscreen laptop. You gotta wipe something off, and you clicked on whatever it was on. Pictures of what... I was gonna look something else up, and then I went and forgot it. Oh yes, the CERN's new castle facility. Let me just clear my throat a whole bunch of fucking times. What? I want the building, not the inside. Give me the sky view picture of it, please. Alright. CERN's new building. You gotta watch how you word this shit, you know? There really is a technique to it. Sky view. I'm actually gonna add that. Let's see. Where is it? Who did CERN just merge with? He just merged with somebody. Who did CERN just merge? Oops, I didn't spell that right. Oracle and Cerner stock are in the news Monday thanks to a massive acquisition deal between the two companies. Oracle is an acquiring center for a total of $28.3 billion. The company is using cash to fund a tender offer for CERN shares. So ORCL, or Oracle, this sounds like they're trying to buy CERN, the way they worded that. And apparently this just came out yesterday. That's why I like the kind of TikTok, the side of TikTok I'm on right now. I hear about shit right away. Look at their symbol. You see that? That's the 666 right there. And then we've got, let me show you. I was telling you about the Taco Bell symbol. You see at the bottom of the bell, you have the 6, the yellow, then you have it in this pink, and then you have it just outside of that in the blue. Do you see it? Or I'm sorry, it's the yellow, the blue, and then the pink. It's so disgusting. There's a few more of them, but... And then all these glitches that people are talking about with the particle collider that CERN is playing with. It was just down for 3 years for maintenance. They were trying to do major upgrades and major something else. Anyways, they just turned it back on, I think, last week. When did CERN go live again? It was founded September 29 in 1954. That is insane. You know, this is why it's so hard to find information. Because if it's not old news... Alright, is CERN... No. Has CERN turned on the particle collider? News about how CERN has turned on the particle collider. Why is there not a date on this? "13 days ago." So it was about 2 weeks ago they turned it back on. Like, they're literally trying to play God. By the reptilians. Yeah, for real. For real. John Keane with the Best Damn Podcast is amazing and is very educated with these subjects. Also, our Rain Steiger, fuck, I don't know, is amazing as well. I'll have to check them out. Very interesting. Don't leave the stream to go there, but you can. It's fine. We've been on for 2 hours. I'm going to get off here in a second. Let's see. Everything is and isn't at the same time. There is literally nothing new under the sun. If you look at the Egyptian, our pyramids and whatnot, you'll see laptops, you'll see our fighter jets, you'll see all kinds of things that supposedly haven't been invented yet. Did you forget how we already created spirit boxes where we could talk to spirits? And the government comes in and shuts it down, but then takes all the notes and goes and builds it on their own. They believe that only they should have that power, so they can have the say on what comes and what goes. And that's why they want us to open up all these portals. And that's why I don't think we should be. I'm glad I don't eat Taco Bell. Yeah, once you hit like 28, Taco Bell just doesn't agree with you no more. I don't know what that's about, but that's a thing. Let's see. Elon buying Twitter so he can train his AI. I feel some kind of way about him buying Twitter. He tried to buy Twitter so we could keep our right to free speech. Huh? What? How? How does that matter? We have other forms of social media. You know what I mean? Like, are you going to buy them too? While you're at it, are you going to save all these babies that don't have formula, or the West Coast that doesn't have any fucking water, or these homeless people that somehow didn't get COVID, even though they definitely didn't go, hide away in their houses? Like, it's an agenda. He's a part of it. They're all a part of it. They stole that energy probably to so-called upgrade CERN. I wonder whose energy they stole to accelerate it. The children, the missing children. Blessings just arrived. May I ask the topic? We're just chit-chatting. Anything at all, honestly. We're talking spiritual stuff. We're talking religious stuff. We're talking world stuff going on right now. Conspiracy theories. That's a lot of fun. Pretty much anything. Yeah. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, it's just insane. It's absolutely nuts. I'm trying to find... I can't believe I can't find it here. CERN new building? I don't want to do that. I don't want to cover my mouth. Make it look like I'm part of it, right? The vow of silence. I think that's the hardest part about being on social media, knowing this shit, is not accidentally being like, okay, and then it looks like I'm doing the 666 symbol. Or, like with posture, how you fold your hands and put them in your lap. If you accidentally make that triangle, like, now I don't have those intentions, and God knows that. Whatever, spirits, you guys, we all know that, but like... I so don't want to be mistaken for that shit. You know what I'm saying? That is the hardest thing about being on social media and knowing this stuff. Again, I don't have enough people. What do they call it? Influencer, right? I don't have enough people I'm talking to. I'm not on their radar. Why can't I find the new fucking building? I was just looking at the damn thing last night. And they show you the flat earth is literally the epicenter of this building. And the building itself is a big 666, except there's like 5 sixes in this thing. Essentially, it's a circle, and there's a bunch of wings that come off of it to create the sixes. And then in the very middle is like a nursery, a garden area, and it's wide open. And again, it's got the flat earth map. And fucking Bing won't show me what I want to see, because I'm trying to show you guys what I saw. And I know it was CERN, because that's what I was looking up. And now it's gone. I'm so irritated about this. Let's see. There are pyramids in the Grand Canyon. I heard about that. I also heard that's why they're going to try to put a whole mess of water over there, so that nobody sees the pyramids that are at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. You can only walk over in that area with a guided tour, a guide. And they make sure nobody goes over that way. Like, they are legit trying to cover it up. They're trying to hide it. Could it be the souls of the children? It's, yeah. Yep. Twiddle will merge with Neuralink. I don't even know what Neuralink is, but I've never liked the sound. Like, you know how sometimes you just hear a name and you're like, oh man, why would anybody want to name their child that name? And as a person, like, who's got a business or whatever, Neuralink, there's something about that name for a company. Like, why would you ever name it? I don't know. It's like nails on a chalkboard for me, for whatever reason. I don't know why. They got rid of it to mess with you. They got rid of what? Oh, the thing? Well, I screenshot it on my phone last night, so I'm recording on my phone and I can't come out of this or show it while I'm live on my phone. If I was live on the laptop, I could. I guess next time I'll have to go live on the laptop and show you the pictures on my phone. To mess with me, though. Yeah, maybe. I love homemade tacos. I've watched my, those are good, right? Nachos, Eve. I've watched my cable box turn some really funky looking colors while having interesting conversations with other conspiracy theorists. And I ain't never seen it do that before. It's happened like 2 or 3 different times now. So, I kind of think they might be listening. I think there's code words that they listen for. That's what I think it is. Just, what do you think the odds are of an EMP? You mean like the frequency? Like things that give off EMP, electromagnetic? Mercury retrograde. Oh, I know. And this one's for fucking ever. Through September or something like that. What? Or we're going to feel it through September? I think the corruption comes into social media because no one helped me with Facebook when I was constantly being harassed by childish adults with no life. Facebook was invented by Zuckerberg, who is a CIA agent. They nicknamed him Overlord, and it basically shut down all the other spyware that they were using to gather information on us, because we would willingly put all our information out there on Facebook. We would post our pictures, who we were with, where we were, how we felt, what we were eating, where we worked, who our friends and family were. Yeah, they pretty much had everything they needed with Facebook. So we thought it was social media and the next advancement with technology, when really it was just the FBI. Pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up. You guys see the interview with him, by the way, where he says, when I used to be human... I mean, I'm still human. I am human. I've been human. Oh. He's such an alien. It's so easy to see. Like, and then every now and then in his interviews, you'll watch him, like, do something weird with his eye, and then all of a sudden it starts... He's a shapeshifter. Or a reptilian, right? Like, whatever you want to call it. And I know a lot of people don't really care for that, but Do your research. Do your fucking research. The Queen, too. And that's no fucking secret. Look at psychotronic weapons. A lot of good stuff to learn about. Did you guys watch Supernatural? Where when who was it? The Europeans would come over and they had all their cool techie stuff. I forget, I think it was werewolves. What was his name? Anyways, he was training their mom, and she was using their weapons and stuff, and they would put out like this specific frequency, and it would actually kill the monsters, right? So I've heard of that before, but I can't remember. It was something, I want to say in the 60s that they were playing with. But I've never heard mention of it since. So, like, I don't know. Either it works and they're keeping it secret, or it didn't really work and they're still trying to work out the kinks. Honestly, I'm not sure. I think what happened with that is they stole scientists' ideas and then tried to make it their own, but they didn't have the full formula, right? And it just didn't work out the way they wanted it to. But it might not. Oh no, Priscilla! An EMP attack takes out electronics and communications. Oh, you're talking about taking down the grid. There's rumors that that's what's going to happen as a part of this Great Reset. They're just going to shut all the power, all the electricity, phones and everything. They're just going to shut it all down. I don't know. I've heard the rumors that it's a possibility, and I mean, yeah, sure, it's a possibility. But as far as that actually taking place, I don't think it will. I don't. Now, maybe that happens with those left behind on 3D versus those of us that ascend. But honestly, I feel like when we ascend, we're not going to necessarily need or want all that business. A way to communicate with each other from a distance, yes. And then travel, of course, yes. But outside of that, I think I'm much happier. Like, I'm a country girl, and I went camping all summer long for my childhood. I'd rather be outside, not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's so many different beliefs, so many different theories, so many different ideas of what's going to happen, how, when, why, and who's going to be a part of it. There are still people looking for the new Antichrist, right? AC. And I've heard that I don't even really want to say it, but CERN is about to have a new owner. And there's a lot of people speculating. That seems to be the number one idea that people are more leaning towards. That might be who the AC is, if that's in fact what's going to happen here. It's funny because, like, the other side, they want to live in sin, right? They want to live that low vibrational life where they just, like Aleister Crowley, do as thou will, right? They're trying to find a way to live eternally, live forever, but with sin. So without God. And of course, who other than the serpent is going to promise that he can do that? Making it seem like hell is going to be a party when we all know it's not. It's a lake of fire, and it's like constantly gnashing teeth. I mean, but they really believe that it's going to be something fucking special, so they sell their soul. And all these rich and famous people out here making millions of dollars and their faces on covers of magazines and whatnot, you're happier than them. Did you know that? You're happier than them. Think about it. What do the rich and famous do? They get fucking high all the time. They're on drugs all the time. Happy people don't do drugs. Happy people don't do drugs. Happy people don't need them. Food for thought. Anyways, let's see. I think there were a couple more that I wanted to get to before I sign off here. Something Russia, China, and Korea all have threatened. Yeah, and I think it's interesting how there's a few people that I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. Never mind. Never mind. Sorry. Have a great day. I'll have to catch the rest later. You're good. I'm about to head out too, honey. Then you say Supernatural. I love Supernatural. Yeah, that was a good one. They got quite a bit of it wrong, but it was a good one. I actually watched another reader play some entity clearing binaural tones last week. That's what's up. Texas having grid issues. Oh, geez, already. There's reverse intelligent agencies. That's kind of one big branch of the grid, and the intelligent agencies, because they hold information and cannot give it out to the military. See, a lot of times that's what they do, though. They'll debrief our soldiers or whoever it is that comes home. They debrief them, and this debriefing process is actually basically mind control, where they're wiping their memory. By the time the debriefing is done, these soldiers don't know where they went, how long they were there, what they fucking did. There's chunks of time that are just missing. They may as well have fucking overdosed on something and just not remembered, right? It's wild. It's absolutely wild. But they've been playing with mind control since the 50s. Yeah, actually, I think that's why. What was his name? I didn't listen to his music, but XXX something. He came out and talked about how he can play with frequencies and how there's different hertz, metahertz, megahertz, and ultra hertz. And there's one more too. And he says they can access different feelings and emotions in you. So he can use his music to make you feel happy, make you feel sad, make you go to sleep. And they killed him because he said all that, because he knew how to mess with it, and he said something about it. So they took him out. They take a lot of them out. This is interesting. Have to admit, I'm totally oh no, I'm sorry. It's a lot of conspiracy theory right now. Well, to an extent. We can survive. I really do. I think that either we're going to rise up and fight for this Constitution, fight for our sovereignty, and it's not just America that's going to do that, or there is going to be a splittings of the dimensions / a rapture. It's going to be one or the other. It's going to be an all-out fucking war, or it's just going to be an absolute split. I really think someone was messing with my phone because I had to lay my selenite right on my screen. Oh, wow. A huge military satellite hidden over by me. Have a great day. Thank you for doing this lives. There's lots of channels that talk about all of this daily, from Sun Simulator to entities jacking our squares. Best community going right here. True. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. I saw a clip of something coming in and siphoning energy off of our sun. And what's really interesting, my God, ever since that happened, maybe they are listening. I must have said a trigger word or something, because now I have to keep clearing my throat. They don't want me to talk. Ever since that happened, China's sky has been red. What? And Earth's frequency is off the fucking charts. Look at the Schumann resonance and where it is right now. Meow. Meow. It's true, they can do that. Certain tones and frequencies impact our brains. We are the time healers. Rise up, stay strong, fam. Appreciate you, Jess. Squares. Squaresies. Squaresies, what the fuck is that? I don't know what that means. But yeah, it's interesting when you start researching some stuff and it's like when people get the proof together, when they start showing you that even the government believes in this shit, it's like, wait a minute. I tell you what, when I saw that flat earth map on CERN's new building with the ice wall surrounding it, oh my gosh. That's scary shit, because if you think about it, have you ever thought of the fact that we could be like Horton Hears a Who, and we're just a little dust speck on a big flower? Messing with somebody's head like that can really make a person freak out, like lose their shit. I think there's a phobia that surrounds all that as well. But I've definitely been on the ass end of that joke before. So, like, the whole idea of whether the earth is flat or round, either way, it really messes with me. But I look up in the sky and I can tell some of those clouds are not fucking clouds. I can see clouds behind the sun as the sun is going down, as it's setting at night, which that doesn't make any fucking sense at all whatsoever. Half the time I see the moon during the day, but then I see it again at night. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me at all whatsoever either. And then how is it that I can see the sun for 12 hours in my sky, but then it's got how much of the earth that it's also going to have to spend 12 hours with? That doesn't make sense to me. Like, there's so much that doesn't make sense. There's so much that don't. Like, if space is a vacuum and it's cold, then how the fuck does any of the heat from the sun reach us? It travels through all that cold to give us heat? What? And how can there be any kind of burning or fire or anything like that, even a smoldering, without the fucking oxygen? You can't even keep embers hot without oxygen. So none of it makes fucking sense to me. And then if you look at the sun, that's not the sun that was in the sky when I was growing up. My sun was like orange or yellow. This shit is bright fucking white. It straight up looks like we went from a normal light bulb to one of those LEDs. Straight the fuck up. It's not orangish or yellow anymore. It's white. And if you look at the sun in the right spot, use your phone. Why do I see a second sun peeking behind it every now and then? Like, I just have so many questions. When you go down these rabbit holes, it's very hangman energy where your perception on life just completely shifts. And it's like, it can knock your socks off with how crazy, how absolutely insane a story could be or a theory could be. But then you start getting proof, and it's like, I have seen more evidence to back this weird story up than I have the shit that they sell us in school. But who owns the schools? Who owns the hospitals? Who owns pharma? Who owns the banks? Who owns our judicial buildings? Who owns them? Those courthouses, they're not owned by the state. Courthouses are owned by a person. Look that up. Look that up. That shook me when I found out courthouses are not owned by government, state, federal, none of that. They're owned by private individuals. That blew my fucking mind. Anyways, I have been on for almost 3 hours, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get going. I love yous. We'll do this again probably tomorrow. Yeah. We'll probably do it again tomorrow. Anyways, I love you. Stay beautiful. And I'll see you later.